What's good, everybody? This is Dario Hunt from Living Life Fearless, and I'm back with another reaction, this time to Bohemian Rhapsody. So let's talk about it. With Oscar seasons right around the corner, I always like to go back and check out the movies that are nominated that I've not gotten a chance to see yet. So these are my thoughts after finally getting around to seeing some of these highly regarded movies that are nominated for the Best Picture. And not too long ago, we did just do a podcast about our Oscar predictions and do just a general talk about all the movies being nominated and snubs and surprises. So if you have not checked that one out yet, you should definitely go and check that out because it was a good talk. But back to my general thoughts about Bohemian Rhapsody. It was not meh in every category, but overall I felt like it was a good movie, but not one that really left me wowed or thinking that this should be a nominee for Best Picture of the Year. In fact, I was pretty surprised that it did get nominated, because to me, it was a pretty by-the-numbers music biopic. And remember, this is the same Academy that somehow did not nominate NWA's record-breaking biopic of their own, which to me is far and above this one here. But before I talk about all my negative feelings and thoughts about the movie, I will say that Rami Malek did a absolutely fantastic job as Freddie Mercury. I am not the most versed in their entire history or his history, in fact, but from the few interviews I have seen of him and the few clips, I do think he really embodied that role really well, and he really brought him to life in a way that you don't always get, that, but you really hope a lead actor would with such an iconic type of person. And in fact, all the bandmates, including himself, are strikingly similar to their real life counterparts. So they really nailed that part of it, and they really nailed just the overall look and feel of the movie itself. It is highly stylish, and they knock it out of the park in that regards. Particularly with the ending scene where they perform at Live Aid. It's chilling. It's like, it really gives you goosebumps because it looks so realistic and it's so fucking well done, and it's almost beat for beat how it actually happened in real life. I had to go back and watch their performance in Live Aid just to compare it, and they absolutely fucking nailed it. And it's Queen, so you know all of the fucking music is great. And Malik, I'm not entirely sure if he did do all live singing, but if he did a fucking great job because it sounds spot on. It really is kind of a celebration of all things Queen. So if this is what you were looking for, just to have an enjoyable movie about the life and times of Queen, then you will definitely like Bohemian Rhapsody. But if you were looking for something that would really get into the nitty gritty of all of the stories that you have heard about Queen and Freddie Mercury in particular, then you will definitely not be satisfied with the film they give you here. Because it is, creatively controlled by the still living band members, so understandably they are very protective of their band, their name, and just their story in general. So they really don't touch on the seedier parts, darker parts of their lives, particularly Mercury's, and they kind of gloss over it. They don't necessarily not talk about it at all, but they talk about it and then move on with an extreme quickness. Let's just get back to the music. And that's what it was all about, is just their music. So it was a bit disappointing because you don't ever feel like there's any true conflict, and the real conflict that there is it's going to get resolved extremely quickly. And let's be honest, Mercury has a wild history, and there are a ton of wild fucking stories about him as being such a party animal and all other sorts of things. And it would have been nice to actually get a more in-depth telling of it from their perspective, but they decided not to really do that and just focus on, the brighter parts of his life, which is fine, I guess, but it just does not make the most interesting movie. But I really don't have that many complaints about it in general. I thought it was a fun, enjoyable movie, and they keep things moving at a very brisk pace. And I did learn a few things that I did not necessarily know beforehand. But Best Movie nominee, I really just don't see it. I can definitely see Malik getting that nomination for Best Actor because those type of roles typically get nominated. But when you compare it to a movie like Ray, which I really think hit a lot of those darker parts of his life while still celebrating him as a musician and everything else he had to offer, I don't think this one did a good job of balancing the two and making the most interesting movie that they could have made. But there is always a chance that we can get a Mercury standalone movie, which would kind of have to go more in depth with that. And who knows, you might even get Sacha Baron Cohen to actually do that one, since he was taken off of this one as the lead in the first place because he wanted to dive into those, behind the scenes stories a bit more. But like I said, it is an enjoyable movie, albeit extremely shallow and not offering a whole lot of reasons for me to actually go back and watch it again. But it's good enough. Like I say, it's good, not terrible, but not great. But for those of you that did see Bohemian Rhapsody, what do you guys think about it? Do you think it's deserving of its Best Picture nominee? What do you think the best parts of the movie were? How do you think Malik did as Freddie Mercury? Would you have liked to see them go, a bit deeper and darker into the stories that we have all heard about them and him in particular? Let me know in the comments down below, and be sure to head over to the official site where you can leave your own ratings and reactions to this project, this movie, and everything else I react to over there on the site. If you have anything that you would personally like me to react to, you can also let me know in the comments down below. And if you like any of the gear that I rock in these videos, like this or this, you can also head to the site and grab some for yourself. But as always, thank you guys for joining me. If you're liking these videos, please smash that like and subscribe button for me. I'll be back shortly with more reactions. But until then, I will catch you guys soon. Peace.